Monica comes to chat. Let's start the show! So welcome. Great show tonight. My guests are going to have such a good time, they won't want to go home. Oh, and on the subject of refusing to leave... Yeah. Can't make me. Boris still hanging on in there. And this week, he flew off to Ukraine. Or if you're watching on Catch-Up TV, he flew off to southwest Russia. And there he is, studying maps with the Ukrainian forces. I'd party here, here, here. To be fair, though, Boris did a great diplomatic job in Ukraine. You know, he managed to bring the East and the West together. Yeah. Now Biden and Putin are both laughing at him. Yeah. So, let's meet tonight's guests. And later on, we'll be talking to Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill star Uma Thurman. Yeah. And we'll have music from singer-songwriter Lola Young. But first, she's earning rave reviews and BAFTA nominations for her brilliant performance in West Side Story. It's Ariana DeBose! He's the star of Kingsman and Rocketman, now making his West End stage debut. It's Taron Egerton! She's the Oscar-nominated star of Good Will Hunting, now turned author and podcast host. It's Minnie Driver! She's the star of Scream, Cougar Town, and the biggest TV show of all time, Friends. It's Courteney Cox! Lovely to see you all. Welcome back to the show. Welcome, first-timers. Lovely to see you. And, Courteney, I think we've only got Lisa Kudrow left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rest have all been on. You were hard to get, hard to land, but we got you.
I'm really not hard to get.
Minnie Driver, now, you two are neighbours, is this right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Courteney lives in a house befitting a cultural icon, and I live in the trailer park.
By the way, the nicest trailer park that you can imagine, with the coolest people, and she knows every single person in the park. It's like a neighborhood that you just, hello, Bill, hello, Bob, how's it? It's just crazy.
It's proper community in a town that is not really known for community. So it's really nice. I love where I live.
I'm surprised you live in a neighbourhood that has a trailer park in it.
I know, well, you can't keep the riff-raff out. Not entirely.
We've got wheels. Here we are.
Do you live in a mobile home?
Yeah, what do you think we've been talking about now?
I thought it was a bit that was just going on.
No.
Live in
It's
a mobile
proper.
home?
Yeah, no. It's
I've got a
amazing.
camper van.
It's right. Great. Come anytime, mate. We're right on the Pacific Ocean. Like, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life.
Wow. And Ariana, obviously, we all love you in West Side Story, and 2 BAFTA nominations.
Yeah, wild.
I know,
That's so
congratulations.
Thanks, thank you. I didn't even know that was like a thing that you could do, you know, but that's wild. I'm
So will you come back for the awards, or will you be in America?
My fingers are very crossed that we can make that happen. So
That's a no.
no. I'm actually very optimistic.
Yeah. Now, one of the good things about having you here, Courteney, because often when a friend is on the show, I feel bad bringing it up because, you know, you kind of think life has moved on, and da-da-da. But you do bring it up. You do recreate things on your socials, like the famous turkey scene. Yeah. So you decided to really do this.
Anything for the gram. Yes, I did put... Oh, God, I'm such an idiot. I don't... You know, people say, aren't you supposed to be kind of mysterious or aloof or... It's like, isn't Instagram just to be yourself? And so I'm pretty goofy. But yes, I decided it was Thanksgiving. I was going to put a turkey on my head, and that's not a real turkey. I didn't know where to get one like that, so I did, excuse me to all the vegans, I put a real turkey on my head. Oh, my God.
We've got the
When
clip.
I tell you it was so gross...
You tell us while we watch this,
Okay.
because it's not as easy as you'd think.
No.
Here we go. Obviously, vegan discretion advised. So now, what have you put on your head?
A towel, and then I also had like a little plastic.
Oh, girl.
There was music playing. It looked better than this one. And then you can't hear talking. Everything.
But now you had a special butcher in to help.
Okay, so in Scream, there's a girl named Melissa Barrera, who I love, and we became really good friends. She came over with her husband, who's a butcher. That's what it looked like afterwards, and I ate it, so there you go. He cut it so it fit over my head. There were some guts around it, but it was gross.
Because even a fresh turkey is not going to smell very nice in there.
Yeah, it wasn't even the smell. It was just horrible in all ways. I don't know what to do.
By the way, I'm supposed to say at this point, don't try that at home. Seriously, yeah.
Well, don't.
No, you really don't. Yeah.
I thought I was going to try to do the dance. I don't know if I actually did it.
Yeah.
I think you might have gotten sidetracked. There was a lot of things to multitask with that one. No.
Did anyone else eat the turkey after that?
We had another one that looked better, and
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
whoever needed to had to eat that one.
It would have been a very interesting way to die, though, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm so glad you didn't know. Asphyxiation by turkey.
What a story.
That's only in the history of the world.
Yeah, that would have been a good news headline. And in sad news... Now, Courteney Cox, new series is Shining Vale. It starts the 6th of March on Stars Play. And so it's sort of a comedy/horror.
Yeah.
I mean, there are proper frights in it.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's a dysfunctional family. And I'm a writer that hasn't written in 17 years. She wrote a really sexy novel, and she has an affair with the handyman. They moved to Connecticut outside of, New York. You guys all know that, I'm sure. Anyway, she's trying to start her life over and work on her marriage. She's got a teenage daughter that's realistic, as I have one, and trust me. She's trying to pull her life back together, but her family thinks she's depressed, which she is. But she also may be possessed. Because the house, what? How do you say it? The house is haunted.
It's a proper spooky house. Listen, let's watch a clip from Shining Vale. This is you and your husband, played by Greg Kinnear, looking round your new house.
Remember the woman that I saw when we first moved in?
The woman outside the window or the woman in the family room?
That's the same woman.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know if she's a ghost, but she keeps popping up in my dreams. And
Well, it's probably
last
a stress dream. I used to have these fantastic
I know,
dreams.
back in business school, and you forgot to say for your accounting
It
final.
was international finance, accounting over
Okay,
base.
well, in my dream, she burned me with a cigarette.
Oh, Pat,
And look.
come on. My God. Wow. Does it hurt if I did that?
Ow!
Sorry. I'm sorry. Let me see. Look at that. It's...
What is wrong with you?
Sorry. It's probably a burn.
I just told you it was a burn.
Yeah, but I don't believe you dreamed that onto your arm. I think that you were cooking bacon and maybe some grease splattered.
When was the last time I made bacon?
When was the last time a ghost burned you with a cigarette?
Very good. Now, here's the thing. Courteney Cox, you have, I believe, been learning, or have you just been learning to play the piano, or have you been learning for a long time?
No, I'd say especially during lockdown is when it really... I mean, my hobbies went crazy, but that was one that I tried pretty hard on.
And are you one of those people who... Did you have a piano in any kind of interior design element in your house, and then you kind of thought, oh, I better learn to play that?
No, I got a piano because I wanted to learn.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
And we've got... you've shared this clip of you playing with some very famous people, Elton and Ed Sheeran among them. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Lisa Kudrow, this is for you. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. Was anyone else a bit sad when they didn't do Smelly Cat? I really thought we were going to do Smelly Cat. Did you learn that specially?
Okay, so Ed and I are friends, and I've known him for a long time. He always stays at my house when he comes into town, and he actually introduced me to Johnny, my boyfriend. And he said, is it okay if Elton comes over for dinner. I'm like, what? Oh, my God, what? He said, you know, maybe we can get him to do a post.
Yeah.
And you can play that song. And I was like, well, I don't know how to play it. And I called my piano teacher. I was like, you have to come over right now. And I had 20 minutes before Elton got there. He taught me how to play it. I only learned that part, which if you keep watching the posts, it was all of a sudden I was like, I can't do this anymore. And Elton, okay, so anyway, the piano teacher, Joel, is walking out as Elton's walking in. And later on that night, Ed said, do you mind doing this? He's like, sure. So I started playing. He had his arm around me, and I was like, oh, my God, first of all, you're kind of holding my arm. And at the same time, I just wanted to put my arms around him because I love him. Anyway, it was the scariest, most nerve-wracking I've ever been, and it was a thrill of my life.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, because...
Can you imagine?
No, it sounds...
Well, he can. He can imagine. He doesn't have to imagine. Actually happened.
No, I know.
Because did you play any piano before Rocketman?
No. And to be honest, I didn't really play that much in Rocketman. I tried.
You told me you learned how to play all those songs.
I'll
You sat
play
here.
anything after a couple of martinis. No, I did do quite a lot of learning and prep, and I do little bits in the movie, but only little sections. But
Well, maybe...
It's quite intimidating when he walks in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still...
Maybe we do something together.
I was actually just thinking, I feel like you, me, and Elton should be BFFs, just the three of us.
By the way,
And we could, you know, go on, like, trips and...
I love it.
I know he's in the middle of a world tour, but I think if we proposed it to him, I think he'd sack it off.
Yeah, I say let's do it.
Good times. Because you have stayed friends with Elton.
I have, yeah. It's still quite... I mean, you know, I've known him for quite a few years now, but it's still... And, I mean, it must be weird for him that people... I still go... When he calls and he goes, hello, and you go... Fucking hell. You know, I mean, you're friends with Elton too.
But no, but it's still...
It is weird, isn't it?
Yes.
You just can't get used to it. And he does a really lovely job. I mean, aside from the fact he's always dripping in glitter and gold, he does a good job of kind of, you know, levelling the playing field. But
And hasn't he given you a lovely name, a nickname?
Yeah, I do have that honour. I think, like, in the 70s, it was a bit of a thing that he did, is he gave his friends drag names, and I did get one in about 2018, 2019. And as I said to you earlier, I have a camper van, and Elton thought that was really, really funny. And I'm Welsh, and so he called me Blodwyn Camper Van. And he still signs emails, Dear Blodwyn, where the fuck are you? You haven't picked up your phone.
I love that. Camper van.
Camper van.
Yeah.
Stresses and vans.
Yeah, for the Welsh, for the Welsh.
Yeah.
And Ariana, I mean, because West Side Story is now that everyone's talking about, but you have this body of work. You were in the original cast of Hamilton.
Yeah.
And so everyone came to that. Everyone came to that. So
you came to that. Didn't you come to Hamilton?
4 times.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I can play Wait For It, sing.
Work.
That song.
Now that's what we'll do. I'll just show up randomly at your home.
Please,
play
can
Wait
you
For
imagine
It.
you singing at my house? Oh, my God.
I won't be as good as Leslie Odom, but, like, we'll have a good time. It'll be great.
And, of course, and you've seen...
Yes, I am the last person to see Rocketman. And I was blown away. Besides, I love Elton John. I love the director, Dexter Fletcher, and now I just am obsessed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're incredible.
Thank
You're really good.
Did you all hear that? Well, listening, Courteney Cox.
I mean,
thank you.
It took her a while to watch it, but, yeah, she got there. She got there at the end. She loved it, yeah. Now, Minnie Driver gets to meet famous people all the time now because she's got a new podcast called Minnie Questions with Minnie Driver. See what she did there? It's available wherever you get your podcasts. So who have you asked Minnie Questions of so far?
Viola Davis and Dave Grohl, Tony Blair, Debbie Harry, Stephen Fry and Ronan Farrow, Alan Cumming. I mean, really lovely, amazing people.
The name that kind of went, ooh, there was Tony... How do you know Tony Blair?
Well, I don't, but I feel like you just... You write to people. It's literally like writing to Biddy Baxter back in the day on Blue Peter. Dear Tony Blair, is there any way that you might have an hour? So I reach out to people.
as a hand come through the hedge in your garden from your neighbour.
Yeah, it's coming.
Courtney, I've Minnie Questions.
Exactly, over the hedge. Yeah.
But of course, it's not just a podcast. Minnie Driver has also written a book. It's her autobiography. It's called Managing Expectations, and it's out on the 16th of May. And I have to say, I love that. How old are you in that picture?
I was 12.
I mean, because that hair is a lot for anyone to deal with at any age. And it's... But no, there's a whole chapter about your hair.
There is. I was called 50p face at school. I know. And I was also called... And I was also called Slash and Anna. Like, my hair and my... It was all difficult. But I wrote a chapter of the... It's sort of a memoir. It's kind of a memoir-ish.
And in the stories, you talk about this idea of the things that go wrong and kind of the goofier elements of your life. Talk to us about being in Whole Foods when you were pregnant.
Oh, yeah. So I had a baby by myself because I had a baby by myself. And you're so beautifully bovine when you're pregnant. I was like the prow of a ship. I just used to sail around in a total haze. And I was often up late at night because I had a giant baby and I couldn't sleep. And I used to go to Whole Foods and get a smoothie and wander around in the air conditioning. And anyway, one night, because my balance was really off, and I was like, it's not just a giant belly. I was like, my boobs are so enormous, I can't even believe it. God, you know, I wonder how enormous they actually are. And because they had those great scales. So I got a little Sanny White, and I was just like, you know, I didn't think any... I mean, some security guard was like, Jesus Christ, Alp, you gotta watch it. But I weighed my boobs. So, oh, Christ, look at that, 5 pounds. Yeah, I was like, the other one, oh, 4'9". I mean, it was... I don't know, the things that you do. Anyway, I had giant boobs, and they made the weight of a baby, so it was...
Oh, my God.
I know, good luck.
Thank you so much.
And it's not a straightforward autobiography. It's sort of like essays about themes in your life and sections of your life. Is that fair?
Well, yes. It's kind of like the central thesis is that in your life, things not working out is usually something working out, something else. This whole idea of, particularly now, in this time we live in, of the cult of celebrity and the way in which it's as if there is this vast difference between all of us, and there really isn't. And the stuff, I think the stuff that is ungainly and difficult and misfires is all the interesting, what everything interesting grows out of. So, and my mum died in the middle of writing the book, which was terrible, and all I could really do was write about that for a minute, and I was like, this whole thing is derailed. But what you realise, not that I'm still figuring out what is possibly good that comes out of it, but it added a brilliant bookend, and she would be so thrilled to kind of be the last crowning chapter in anyone's book. Like, she would have been, I think, happy that I managed to carry on, because that is all that she ever did.
And also, I thought, reading it, I thought how lovely that, in a way, you were making her live again. You were kind of going back in your memory and recreating those moments with her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And, God, it's just awful to lose a parent that you love so much. But I remember I rang her when I was, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, and she was like, how's it going? And I was like, oh, God, I'm just like... It's such a hustle, it's such a grind. Like, I thought that it would be easy after sort of, 35 years in this business. It's just, it feels like it's really hard still. And she was like, the grind? The hustle? I guess what I get out of bed in the morning for. I love the grind. And I realised all the things that I find hard. She would use it. She'd use it like she'd judo the hell out of life and turn everything bad into something good, so...
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Very good. All right, it's time to introduce our remote guest tonight. She is the Oscar-nominated star of Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. Please welcome Uma Thurman, everybody! Oh! Thurman, welcome to the show. Where do we find you tonight?
You find me in New York City.
Lovely. And please say hello to everybody. Courteney Cox is here, Minnie Driver, Taron Egerton, Ariana DeBose.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Minnie.
Hi, Uma.
We worked together years ago. We did.
When I was pregnant.
Oh, OK. Oh, back then, when you were wearing boobs. And
I just heard that story, and it was so fantastic.
And recent exciting news. I think this is the first. You've had a species of animal named after you.
It's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. A lizard has been named.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I find it so moving.
It's do they ring you and ask your permission, or do you just read about it in the newspaper?
Well, I just read about it in the newspaper. Nobody asked me. And I don't know, Uma is actually not only my name, right? It's a Hindi name. There are probably millions of Umas in the world. But I got credit for this lizard somehow. I guess it's my reptilian quality.
It's a fringe-toed lizard. It's called Uma Thurmanae. Is it Thurmanae?
I didn't even know they added the last name. I just heard about the lizard, and I did see a picture of it. It's a very pretty lizard. I like it.
It is beautiful. Has anyone else had anything named after them? No?
Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Apparently, in Cardiff, there's a fleet of snowplows that they're named after Welsh people who are in the public eye, and mine is called Taron Egerton.
Oh, good work. Good work. Yeah. Well, Uma, you're here to tell us about your new drama series, Suspicion. It's on Apple TV Plus from today. So you play a sort of a media mogul.
Yes, my character's name is Catherine Newman. I kind of based her a little bit on one of my favorite performances, very loosely, but Faye Dunaway in Network was sort of an inspiration for me, and was a film that I always loved so much and have watched so many times.
And I think we can say what happens at the beginning of the show. The beginning of the show, it starts with your son.
Yes. Yes, this media mogul, this woman who's kind of a spin publicity, big corporation, power player, her son is kidnapped. And that's kind of the sort of the setup of the beginning of the mystery.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll watch a clip. This is you as the media mogul, Catherine Newman, finally speaking to the press.
Catherine, there can't be a mother in America whose heart isn't breaking for you right now.
Thank you, Nancy. And thanks to all the people who sent messages of support. I really do appreciate it.
I cannot imagine what you're going through at the moment. But I do know you want your boy back and that you will do anything to make that happen.
I'm a mom first.
Of course. So, what's taken you so long? I only mean that from the outside looking in, here's Catherine Newman, queen of communications, being asked to communicate in order to free her only child. But she doesn't seem to be saying anything. Why not?
I was advised by the FBI not to engage with whoever's holding Leo. Again, Nancy, in this situation, I'm no different to any mother whose child is missing.
Ooh. And it's... Oh, hello, dogs. Oh, the baby. Hello, the baby. Oh, yeah. Who's that?
I thought they were, chained up, but no.
Dangerous dogs on the loose.
Oh, yes.
Let's just talk about
dogs
for a while.
They want to be on TV, clearly.
Yeah, we can see them in the corner. Oh, there you go. No, they're bored now. Yeah.
Yeah. They've had their moment. They're like, oh, it's just the day you get the job and the day it's over. You know how dogs are.
Yeah, it's only the Graham Norton show. Back off. Go. Uma Thurman, lovely to see you. Lovely to see your dogs. Suspicion is streaming now on Apple TV Plus. Uma Thurman, everybody.
Thank you.
Right. Taron Egerton, Ford is he, is making his West End stage debut in Cock, yes? It's at the Ambassadors Theatre from March the 5th. Tickets are on sale now. We're going to enjoy this, aren't we? We are. So, tell us about Cock.
Let me tell you about Cock. I'm going to be in a play called Cock.
Did Marianne Elliott direct it?
Marianne is directing. I came from rehearsal today
God.
with Marianne.
She's amazing.
And she is amazing. It's been 9 years since I was last on stage, and the last thing I did was at the Royal Court, and I did a little thing before that at the National Theatre. So it's been a really long time, but it is what I started out doing.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm having the best time. It's an amazing cast. Jonathan Bailey, myself, the amazing Jade Anuka, and also Phil Daniels.
Wow.
And it's written by Mike Bartlett, and it's the story of...
Yes, what happens in Cock?
Yes. Let me tell you. No, it's the story of a young gay couple who've been together for a number of years, and they end up taking a break. It's very Ross and Rachel. And one of them sleeps with somebody else, and it transpires that person is a woman. And what happens is they all decide to get together and have a chat about it, and that's the premise of the play, really. And it's very, very funny and actually very moving, and that's probably all I should say about it, really.
You talk about how, you know, stage was your first love, and this was back in Wales, in Aberystwyth.
Yes, yeah. I'm from a town called Aberystwyth in Wales, and I started out doing theatre at my local youth theatre and did various bits of musical theatre and Shakespeare, and that was kind of what I thought I was going to do with my life. And then, you know, shortly after I left drama school, I was really lucky and I got a big film role with Kingsman with Matthew Vaughan, who I know you've just worked with. And so life's just kind of happened since then, and I've not had a chance to do theatre, so I'm really excited to be back.
Because theatre, you know, obviously, lots of people have done theatre. Courtney, have you ever done theatre?
Yeah, but let's not talk about it.
Oh. What I find interesting about you, the idea of you doing theatre is, one of the things that's come up in discussions about Friends over the years is learning lines is not
That's
something...
kind of like theatre.
Yeah, but you're not that keen on learning lines.
Oh, you're right. You get to do it again if you don't know your lines. But yes, I didn't always have an easy time remembering my lines on Friends.
So you would well, I suppose cheat. Is it cheating?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where would you put your lines?
Well, OK, so the writers would sometimes give you new scripts right on the spot or right before, and sometimes I also didn't prepare as much as I should have. So I would, put my lines either in the fruit bowl sometimes in the sink. I'd just be sitting there, and then you'd go to the sink and pretend to wash and look a couple of pages in. And, yeah, one time in particular, I had something large to say. It was like I would call it like a paragraph, or like a 2-incher. That sounds weird. Anyway, yes, and Matt LeBlanc didn't tell me, obviously. It was a prank on me, and he took I didn't know it at all. And he took the piece of paper that I had in the fruit bowl, and I was like getting an apple. and I don't, do you say winged it? Whatever the word is, I did. And I think it worked out, but it was not okay.
But did he confess?
Yeah, on the Friends reunion.
Oh, not till then?
That's when I learned it.
Wow, that's a long time to keep that secret.
Yeah.
And you were in a play with a friend.
Yes, I was in a David Mamet play with Matthew Perry in the West End.
And was that the play where you the really weird paparazzi guy?
Yeah. I feel like there's some sort of upskirting law that has now been passed in England where photographers can't just lie on the ground and try and take a picture of your vagina. And yet, that is what happened every night outside the theatre. This guy, when I was getting in my car, would lie on the ground and try and take pictures up my skirt. But the good thing about Matthew Perry is that he has so many fans, and lots of them are grannies. Well, I only know that because there was an army of... What's the collective noun for a Zimmer frame of grannies outside the theatre one night? And this guy was there And I'd now become sort of weirdly used to it, and I'd come out and my heart would sink. And all these amazing grannies were like, what is that guy? What is he? You're gonna try and take a picture up your skirt? Oh my God. And like, would tell the whole tour guide, and they went over and they beat the shit out of her. They really, really kicked the shit out of her.
Lovely. That's a lovely story. That's a lovely story. So, listen, this is what all the fuss is about. Ariana DeBose is starring in the new Steven Spielberg version of West Side Story. And it's in cinemas now, we should say.
Yes, it is.
It's in cinemas now. And Rachel Zegler, she was here a few weeks ago playing Maria.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about who you play in West Side Story.
Well, I play Anita. Yes, she is the character that Rita Moreno played in the 1961 film. And she won an Oscar for that, so we'll just say that.
Yeah,
no
just
pressure.
throw it out there, yeah.
No pressure whatsoever. And Anita's like the first lady of the Sharks. There are two gangs, the Sharks and the Jets, and the Sharks are a Puerto Rican gang, and they're fighting over turf. And literally, it's like 6 blocks. And this entire story takes place over like 48 hours. It's really wild. But you get to know Anita. She's heart, soul, passion, body, dancing, singing, and she's just an extravaganza of a role. And thank God for Tony Kushner and his adaptation of this script, because it gave me a lot of good material. So, yeah, check her out. See what you make of her.
You are phenomenal in it. You really, really are. Let's watch a clip. This is you as Anita with Bernardo, played by David Alvarez.
Oh, he's good.
Amárrame eso. You want to know where my home is? It's where I pay rent. Right here. Where I work my fingers raw, mending pants and hemming neckties so that I can earn enough money to pay other girls to sew for me. So that someday I can rent a shop of my own. In this great, big, beautiful Nueva York. Ah. And if you think that I'm going back home to Puerto Rico with 6 kids that I put to bed hungry every night, amor de mi vida, you are dreaming.
Oh.
Anita said, get your man, girl.
And we must mention the dancing in this film is phenomenal, and you are so good at the dancing. And that was kind of your first love, dancing.
Yeah, absolutely. I started dancing when I was 3. You know, ballet, tap, jazz. I was a daisy in my first, like, little class. It was cute, I think. But I speak dance better than I speak English. That's, like, that was my into the character, as you can see. I can't, like, not.
And what was you entered a competition. Were you in kind of a teenager when you entered the competition?
Yeah, I was in high school. I entered a Shake It Up Cold Stone Creamery dance contest. They were introducing their new lines of shakes and smoothies. And Fergie, I think her single was Lundy, 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 we've fallen down like, and she was promoting that. Anyways, I entered this dance contest and I made it to the finals, and there were 5 of us, and I got to go to New York, and I was doing my little solo, trying to be really cool. Wasn't that cool? But anyways, I won, and now I have free ice cream for the rest of my life.
And you've used it.
Oh, yeah. You're kidding? I moved to New York and I was 19 years old, and I was poor. Like, no coins to my name. It was fine. So when I ran out of money for food, like no 50-cent coffee, no hummus and pita, nothing, I would go to Cold Stone on 42nd Street and, you know, use my free ice cream and my free ice cream cakes. And that was my nutrition for the day.
Lovely. Resourceful.
Nobody knows what to make of that, and that's okay.
Everyone's going, how does she look like that?
Well, you do have to stop eating ice cream after a point.
It seems a weird prize for a dancing competition.
I know.
And here, never dance again. Eat this.
Eat this.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is another winner of a dancing competition here. Courteney Cox. You did. I mean, the Bruce Springsteen video.
That was the worst. I actually like to dance. Not that kind of dance. I can't do it now. Just I like to put music on, have little dance parties at my house. Yeah. But yes, I did the Bruce Springsteen video, and I was so nervous, and I didn't want to go up on stage. There's 2 other girls that were cast at the same time, and I was like, just letting you know, I do not want to go. So either one of the whatever. And they said, no, you're going. Probably because I was so nervous. and embarrass.
So wait a minute, so they cast 3 people.
It was Brian De Palma directed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just walked into this audition, and all these dancers were stretching and their legs up in the air, and I went, oh, this is the wrong place for me. And I ended up going into his office, and he said, he put the album on, or the song, and just said, dance. And I went, just like, right now? Yes. Whatever I did. And when I went on stage, I just decided I'm gonna copy him. I'm just gonna do exactly what he does. And at one point, he does a turn all the way around. And I started it, and I was like, I'm gonna fall down. I just stopped.
Oh, let's watch a clip.
Oh, really?
We've got to remind you. Okay, you look away. The rest of us will enjoy this. Good. And was that a real concert?
That was a real concert.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean, that's hard to do at a proper concert.
It was a proper concert, and after we did one take, he said, what do you do if you like something that much? And everyone went, do it again. So I had to do it again.
And now, here's the thing. Is it true that that dance, the dance you did, inspired another really iconic dance?
I heard that. I heard that it was from
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah.
Oh,
Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, you
that
know,
one.
yeah.
I know
It's the same dance, and he's the one who said
He did.
he'd seen that video and he thought, that's the dance I'll do. Yeah.
It looks like he has more rhythm and probably better.
Talking of dancing, I must quickly mention, Taron Egerton, your Sing 2 is in cinemas.
Yes, yeah, Sing 2.
And you're back as the gorilla.
I'm back as the gorilla Johnny. It's in UK cinemas now, and I just love it so much. I think it's better than the first one, and it's really, really amazing. So if you have little ones and you want a genuinely lovely evening at the cinema, I'm very proud of it, so please go.
Or you could see Cock. Full circle moment. You've got to keep the audience diverse. Yeah, I mean, quite the demographic. Right, it's time for music. At just 21 years old, this rising star has already landed herself a Brit Award nomination and being shortlisted for the Sound of 2022. Here performing her latest single, So Sorry, it is Lola Young.
Toxic 'cause I hate being in love, 'cause I always end up round the bend and messing it up. And my ego is big, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that means if you look at those girls, I'm causing a scene. I apologize in advance, I'm insecure and I'm far too proud to tell you I'm wrong. And yesterday I got drunk and I said some stupid things that I probably shouldn't have. So then I say sorry. I say it one too many times just to get out of the crimes I commit. You're soft on me. I guess that's what I get when I'm always off my head. I admit I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm head over heels, the ones that I hate, 'cause I always walk all over us and you don't complain. Unconditional love, yeah, that's what you do. But you said there are so many conditions for you, so I apologize in advance. I'm cynical and I'm far too proud, I tell you I'm not. And the other day I got drunk and I said some stupid things that I probably shouldn't have. So then I say sorry. I say it one too many times just to get out of the crimes I commit. You're soft on me. I guess that's what I get when I'm always off my head. I admit I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm sorry.
Richard. There's a chair for you. Have a seat. Ariana, Taron, Minnie, Courteney.
This is so weird, man. This is bare weird. I can't believe it. I was literally shitting myself the whole time. And you've got me a rum and coke. I'm just, oh my God.
Sip the rum and coke, I would suggest.
That's exactly what
we don't want you to be singing the song at the end of the night. That's the current single, So Sorry. That's out now. And I love that song because it's particularly a kind of a version of a kind of female love song that we haven't heard before.
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to take a minute. No, I don't. I'm going to answer the question.
No,
OK, listen.
have a minute.
No, I'm not going to have a minute. I'm going to answer the question. OK, so listen. So obviously, from... Look at these beautiful people, Rob. How, what? OK, listen, yeah? Jesus. All right, so... Yeah, so obviously I wrote the song from a perspective of, like, well, me basically being a bitch in a relationship. And, like, I think it's one of those situations whereby... when there's a lot of like female empowerment going on, and that's all I'm here for. I hadn't yet heard, or like I hadn't yet, and I basically wrote from my perspective in the sense of like I'm quite toxic, I'm quite jealous. I'm not that bad. I'm selling myself really badly here, but like I think it's just like gonna be a learning curve for me, and I think it's also about introspectiveness, looking within oneself and going, look, I can be jealous. Do you know what I mean? Like that's fine.
You know what else is wicked? Is that women always apologise. Like all we do is say fucking sorry. And I got all of the everything of like what you were. I'm 100 and you're not. But I'm telling you, I feel the spectrum and it's really cool. It's like, yeah, we fuck up and we say, I'm sorry, but also there was just that lament of women always apologising for themselves and what they do.
And how they are naturally, and I totally agree. Yeah.
Well, I think people will hear that song and really kind of, they'll recognise themselves in it.
Oh, I mean, I saw myself. I was like, wow.
Yes. So self-aware, yes.
I love this moment in your life. It's such an amazing time to meet you because, you know, I said you got the Brit nomination. Like, this is exciting. Do you feel like a pop star yet? What's your life like?
Well, when I'm here, I do, but when I'm sitting in my two-bed flat in South East, probably not.
Two bed?
Okay,
that's what they were all thinking. She's got 2 bedrooms.
That was so bad of me. Okay, guys, please don't cancel me. No, I
can't. Give her a chance. And we should tell people, because people will have loved that performance, they would love to see you on tour, and they can do that next month, right?
Yeah, I've got a tour in March, which is going to be amazing. So if any of you want to come down, you know what I mean?
You can drag Courteney on stage.
Yeah,
She'd love to dance. Yeah.
That would be incredible. But no, honestly, I've got a tour. One's in Islington. There's some. It's kind of just around Europe. Not whole of Europe.
Google Lola Young. You'll find the
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Well, listen, I'm so happy for you, Lola. Thank you for that performance. Good luck with the tour and the single. Lola Young, everybody. Excellent. Right, that's nearly it before we go. Just time for a visit to the big red chair. Hello, who's there? Hi.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Katerina.
Katerina, lovely. And what do you do, Katerina?
I work at the NHS at St George's.
Oh, now we have to be nice. Where do you live?
Croydon.
Oh, Croydon?
Yeah.
OK. Off you go. 1 bed, 2 bed. Off you go. No, that wasn't a real question. Off you go with your story.
So it was my auntie's hen do, and we're all off to Milan.
Ooh.
My cousins, my auntie, and my mum are there. We're heading onto the flight, and my cousin hands out these goodie bags. Mum gets on the flight, and she eats all of these sweets in the bag. The next morning, she says to my cousin, oh, thank you for this goodie bag. It was really nice, that the sweets in there were really nice, but there were these sweets in there, the penis-shaped ones, and they were really chewy and not much flavour. My cousin looked at her really baffled and said, what penis sweets? There weren't any in there. And then she realised she'd eaten the earplugs.
Actually, I'm just been told, is your mom here?
Yeah, she is in the front row.
Where's Mom?
Yeah.
Oh, she had an earplug. But we'll let her walk. We can walk. Very good. Did you know she was going to tell that story?
Oh, yeah.
And still you came. Let's see who's up next. Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Louise.
Louise, lovely. And I'm thinking of Whole Foods. I don't know if anyone else is. I'm sorry, Louise. I'm sorry, Louise.
Sorry.
Where do you live, Louise?
I live in Ascot.
Ascot! Nice. 4-bed. What do you do in Ascot?
I work in marketing.
OK, all right, we'll say no more. Off you go with your story, Louise.
OK, many years ago, I was in Australia backpacking, and it was the Rugby World Cup final, Australia versus England, and England obviously beat Australia, and I was in a hostel bar, and beer and glass went flying. Everyone was cheering. It was like this monumentous moment, and I was wearing flip-flops, and my foot slid into a load of glass. And I was like, you know, shit, I've cut my foot. So we went over and I got...
Good reaction.
The hostel manager got a first aid kit, and my foot was sort of up in the air, and this guy that I really had a crush on came over and he was like, oh my God, and he proceeded to suck the glass out of my foot. Ew. And he was like really into it as well. He was like, spitting. And the Australian barman, well, the hostel manager goes, mate, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm trying to suck, the glass out of her foot. And he's like, mate, that's not the cut. That's her verruca.
You can walk, Louise. Well done. Very good.
Courtney went, what's a verruca? And I translated, and then she went, oh.
They're Australian. OK, that really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in the big red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website to this very address. Please say a huge thank you to all of our guests tonight. Lola Young! Ariana DeBose! Taron Egerton! Minnie Driver! Courteney Cox! And Thurman! Join me next week with singer George Ezra, Bridgerton's Golda Rochevelle, Oscar winners Jim Broadbent and Dame Helen Mirren, and the one and only Adele. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Graham's making a quick sachet over to BBC Three now, where 9 international glamazons compete to become Ultimate Queen. RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the world in 5 minutes. Here next, Six Nations Sin Bin with Gabby and Gareth.